The time is 12:02 on this Thursday afternoon, December 13th, 2018. It is time now for the Peter Channel Midday News on this Thursday afternoon, December 13th, 2018. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Peter J. Wiggins, 12:02, and we have a temperature of 36 degrees in North Massachusetts. Top stories on the Peter Channel. Midday News is women accused of being Russian agents expected to change plea. President Trump shock leaves Republicans anxious over 2019. President Trump publicly breaks the silence after former fixer sentenced to 3 years in prison. Teen planning to commit violence in Indiana school, but police say tips are help that stop them. Oil slick man stuck in California, grease stuck rescued. Hawaii Air National Guard pilot seriously injured after military jet crash. Kentucky court nixes pension law that prompts a teacher protest. Arizona newspaper publisher uses his publication to accuse wife of poison attempt. Kim Jong-un's friend becomes second Canadian detained by China amid Hawaii uproar. Iran hackers hunt local workers at U.S. targets. Train crash in Guard to Turkey that kills at least 9, injures dozens. Al Gore says President Trump's climate change steps could be a persuasive step forward. Reward over $8,000 for information at dog death in Norton. Fall River man busted in Taunton Avenue alleged stash of narcotics in body cavity. In Fall River, firefighters had one man dead in a puddle of gasoline and a second man trapped in a herd in a rental car. There were right next to 12,000 gallons of gasoline waiting to explode. Fuel was spilling out Route 24 and it well in the pre-dawn darkness Thursday. Several hours later, an army of firefighters, police, and highway workers were still imminent into danger. Meantime, traffic stomped at the north end of the city. Apple will build $1 billion campus in Northern Ireland, 5,000 jobs. Virgin Galactic supersonic plane reaches space. Dow rises as Wall Street monitors U.S.-China trade talks. The Dow up 22.81 at 24,554.08. SP 5 down 5.82 at 26.45.25. And Nasdaq down 41.03 at 70.57.29. GE surges at biggest bear. Finally spots bottom in an epic slump. Cardinal George Bell, one of the Pope Francis' closest advisors, has been convicted in an Australian court on 5 counts related to the abuse of 2 choir boys in 1996. France death toll returns to 3 years. Police hunt gunmen. Yemen-based talks British ceasefire for relief aid in Keyport City. Canadian with North Korea ties detained after Hawaii arrest. Russian defense officials say streets bombers flew over the Korean Sea for 10 hours this week. Bomb concerns for the other countries in the region. Teachers should be armed and schools should have better security to prevent attacks like this one. In Parkland, Florida this year, the special panel said in one report. Recall at 65,000 Toyota Lexus vehicles to check out an airbag case. Able to build new $1 billion Texas campus that could grow up to 15,000 employees. Workers at the U.S. Embassy in Cuba have permanent inner ear damage after Mr. Sonic test in a building a year ago, a new study found. Titan Toddler asks for food for needy animals for her birthday. Wahlberg movie Wonderland films in Raynham. Scientists skeptical about gene-edited baby experiment. NASA Mars anti-slender snaps its first selfie from the red planet. Voyager 2 spacecraft reaches interstellar space after 4 decades exploring solar system. Second case of acute myelitis confirmed in Michigan. Report highlights fentanyl steadily rolling overdose crisis. Asian tick that clones itself could spread fast and far in the U.S., study says. Peter Childu's time. 12:07 on this Thursday afternoon. Time now for a sports report. Boston. The Boston Bruins will be at the Garden tonight, taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Game time 7 o'clock. Juris Phillips returns to the match. Joe Kelly signs the LA Dodgers as reliever floodgates begin to open. Phoenix Suns relocation rumors team should stay in Phoenix. The owner should go as Phoenix Suns owner Robert Sarver threatened to move team to Seattle or Las Vegas. Winner of the loss MLB team could be sending winner of $400 million. Bryce Harper sweepstakes and Peter Childu's time. 12:07 on this Thursday afternoon. It's time now for a Peter Channel traffic and transit check. Baby! Let's study off on the MBTA where it's looking good on the subway, commuter rail, ferries, they all looking good. Okay, look at that Rhode Island, 146 at the southbound side, slow around off Smithfield, Newport Bridge on Mount Bridge on both ends, it's backed up. Out of the Cape, it's looking good. And down in the latest on the incident in Fall River, 24 is still closed due to the aftermath of the fatal tanker accident this morning in Fall River around the area. So 79 on the southbound side, it is closed from North Main Street all the way down to Route 24. 24 closed on both ends from Innovation Way all the way down to Route 79 in Fall River. And 24 also closed around Route 6 and around President Avenue in Fall River. So, Fall River motorists, of those who go to Boston and taking 24, get on 195 and then 79 to 138 towards Taunton. Or you could take 195 east to 140 to New Bedford and go up 140 and then shoot up 24 to Taunton. So expect some delays around that area where that fatal trucker tanker, which was identified as a 67-year-old male, was the driver of the tanker that was killed. Okay, looking at some other highways. Route 3, northbound side of the southbound side. A little stop and go between 220 Rockland and around Route 53 in Hanover. Mass Pike, westbound side, also between Lone River and South Boston. 128 on both ends, it's back to between Lexington and down to Waltham. 93, northbound side, is over between the Pike down to Zig Bridge and Mass Pike, westbound side, so between Lone River down to South Boston. 93, southbound side, so to 125 in Wilmington. 3 to the southbound side, so 120 in Burlington. Central Massachusetts highways are looking good. Western Massachusetts highways are looking good. 91, both ends are back around Route 9 in Cromwell, Connecticut. Merritt Parkway, westbound side, the little swords. Merritt Parkway, eastbound side, so Stamford, Connecticut. 95, both ends are back between Stamford and Darien. 84, eastbound side, so 91 in Hartford, Connecticut. And 495 on the southbound side, so in April stretch. And Interstate 8789. 91 on the southbound side, the little sort of U.S. Canadian border in upstate New York, Vermont, and Outwood 15 northbound side, so in southern Quebec, towards Montreal. 87 on both ends, off to 3 in Albany. Peter Childu's side. 12:10 on this Thursday afternoon. It's time now for a weather report. Looking at the radar, satellite Newton shows clouds covered a bunch of southern New England with some snow from east central portions of Connecticut and central to western Massachusetts and up to eastern New York State around the Albany vicinity. Never patch of snow flurries, northwestern Manchester, New Hampshire, up at the south of Claremont, New Hampshire. And zooming you out, and it's snow stretched out about the upstate New York, and then up a batch of snow south of Syracuse, New York, but the northeastern central portion of Pennsylvania. And snow around Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and rain and sleet and snow southeast of Buffalo, New York. All right, looking at the temperatures around the region, it is in the 20s, the 30s in southern New England, and it's in the teens to 20s, but to nominal and 30-degree reading in Augusta, Maine, and 14 in Mount Washington, New Hampshire. Okay, look at that forecast. Goes like this. Today, mostly clouds by 32 degrees. Light east wind for tonight. Partly clouds by 22 degrees. Calm wind for Friday. But that's about 45 degrees. Calm wind for Friday night. Just rain May after midnight. Cloudy skies by day. Low on 36 degrees. Light southwest wind. Just pitch 30%. New spot between 10 and inch possible for Saturday. Just rain May before 11 a.m. Mostly clouds by 49 degrees. Light variable wind. Just pitch 30% for Saturday night. Mostly clouds by 36 degrees. Northeast about 5 to 7 miles an hour for Sunday. Just rain after 2 p.m. Partly clouds about 42 degrees. Northeast about 7 miles an hour. Just pitch it is 30% for Sunday night. A just rain, mostly clouds about 32 degrees, north for about 7 miles an hour. Just fish it. That Monday, part settled mostly clouds about 41 about 25 degrees, and the northwest with about 7 to 9 miles an hour. And then for Tuesday, most that's got about 33 about 17 degrees, northwest about 7 to 50 miles an hour. Wednesday, that's got about 37 degrees, northwest about 7 miles an hour. And currently in Norton, it's 36 overcast. And that's me for the Peter Channel. Midday news on this Thursday afternoon, December 13th, 2018. I viewers hope you have a good afternoon with a good Friday to have a wonderful day.